Hi, I'm Jordan Pierce. I'm a youth and young adult minister in the South Hills at Corpus Christi Parish. And we've been asked to give these short reflections on hope, on positivity. But one thing that's always kind of mesmerized me about the church, about the body of Christ, is how much we actually have in common. And how we can kind of rally around a central belief that we all have in common at Mass. You know, we all come and we celebrate the Eucharist, you know, and we all go to confession and we're all believing in the same thing. And how that kind of gets taken away a little bit when we can't celebrate Mass, or when we can't go to the sacraments, you know, as a body and have that commonality. Well, when I was just praying about what to talk about, and I was praying, okay, what do we have to rally around right now? What kind of thing do we all have in common that we can really bring together and get us through this? And this might not be the most positive thing to talk about. This might not be the best thing that we all have in common, but the word is suffering. Everyone, every member of the body of Christ right now is suffering. If you have this virus, obviously you're suffering. If you know someone who has it, if you think you might have come into contact with somebody who has it, if you're just stuck inside and it's inconvenient for you because you can't work or you're out of work, whatever point or stage in this process you are in right now, you are suffering. And we don't just have that in common with each other, we have that in common with Christ. If you can say one thing that Jesus did on earth, greater than the miracles, greater than the parables, is he suffered. Jesus suffered when he was on the cross. And right now, as we are in this period of where it's not easy, and no matter what people say, like it's not. This isn't an easy thing to go through. And we're going through this time where we're uncomfortable. But what can we do with this suffering? What can we do to make this worth it? Is unite that suffering that we're feeling day in and day out to Christ. That's the message that I think that we all need to hear, is that you can't ignore what's happening out there anymore. You can't do it. It's here and we're dealing with it. But what you can do every single day in prayer is say, Lord, I am suffering. I know that you suffered just like I am right now. Help me to get through this with you. And unite yourself to Jesus Christ on the cross. Because when you unite yourself to Jesus Christ on the cross, you actually also unite yourself to Jesus Christ in the resurrection. There can't be a resurrection without the cross. There can't be positivity without suffering. And if we're going through that right now, that means that eventually there will be a resurrection to all of this. There will be a time, just like Pope Francis said, where we'll be able to hug each other. We'll be able to meet in Mass. We'll be able to go and get a coffee. Right now, though, we're at the time before. We're at the time of suffering. If you're suffering, if you're going through this time of purgation and you don't really know what to do with it, you don't see a point in all this, spend some time in personal prayer with Jesus. Unite that suffering to him. And instead of just trying to have something in common with the body of Christ, have something in common with God.